Please welcome to the stage the Fedcap Group's President and CEO, Christine McMahon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and welcome to our 2024 Gala. I want to first start just by thanking the folks at the Plaza tonight. So all the servers and the folks who prepared the food, thank you so much. Room is beautiful. I also want to quick thank our engagement team. Each year they create such a beautiful gala. They won't disappoint tonight. I want to thank our board of directors, in particular our group chair, Mark O'Donoghue, and the many other board members who are with us tonight. I also want to thank our amazing senior team, our CFO, Carol Corey, our CIO, Tammy Mickelson, our Chief Strategy Officer, Practice Leader, Jim Malatris, our Workforce Practice Leader, Grant Collins, he's here, Brian Bell, Aisha Lucas, Kenny Bresnov, Prev, Martin, all of you. Thank you so much. And standing in for Brian from the UK tonight, by the way, is all the way from Scotland, is Susan Patterson. So she's here with us. She came the longest. We have so many executive directors of companies throughout this organization. Many of them are here tonight, strong, powerful leaders in their area, so thank you. I know we have some folks in the room who used to be presidents of companies at Fedcap. For example, I know we have Mary Bleiberg in the house tonight. We have, I think we have Valentina Morales, who used to run a program for us, so thanks to all of you who are here tonight to share this with us. I'd like to especially call out one leader. I think I'm going to do this for the rest of the time I'm with Fedcap. And that leader is Steve Coons, who runs the largest organization in the Fedcap Group. This is Steve's 37th year, 37 years. So I like to say he's the original heart and soul of the Fedcap Groups, and the guy we're always trying to catch. He keeps us straight in terms of what this organization is about. I'm excited tonight for our presentation of the Community Impact Award. This year it's going to Carol Kellerman. Carol has been an important advocate for New York, but also for Fedcap and me personally. I can't thank her enough. I can't wait for you to meet a great mom, Jennifer, and hear about Augie's journey. I can't wait for you to meet Jalen Martin, whose story you'll also hear later tonight. Our sponsors are so critical to our success. I want to especially thank James and Merrill Tisch. I want to thank Mutual of America, Anthem, USI, not only for supporting us tonight, but for supporting us all year round. These groups support us all year round. And it's an honor to welcome all of you tonight. Standing here, I'm reminded of why we come together year after year, not only to celebrate transformative work of the Fedcap Group, but to reaffirm the values that unite us. At the heart of those values is a belief in the transformative power of aspirational thinking, the idea that every individual, no matter your station in life, your disadvantages, or even the mistakes you've made, everyone has the capacity to dream boldly and achieve greatly. But building hope doesn't happen alone. From the earliest days of childhood and throughout the course of a lifetime, we all need people who see the greatness in us, who challenge us to aim higher, and who believe in the potential to rise beyond our current circumstances. We all need to believe someone is proud of us. In our increasingly individualistic world, it's easy to forget how much we need each other. But the truth is, the best way forward is through more connection, not less. Think about the moments in your own life when someone expected more of you, when they believed in you even before you believed in yourself. Those moments matter. Those people matter. Because it's in those relationships, in those affirmations, that take the root and grows. It's how we all grow. This is the work we're all called to do. Whether we're helping a child with a disability to be ready to participate more fully in their education, guiding a young person taking their first steps into adulthood, helping someone rebuild after life's challenges, or supporting an individual who's been long underestimated. We are all doing more than meeting immediate needs. We are helping them see and reach for a bigger future. And as we do this, we reject the idea that circumstances define destiny. Instead, we embrace the expectation of success for every person at every stage of life and within every system they touch. This belief is more than a feel-good sentiment. It's a profound commitment to action. It calls us to challenge the systems that hold people back, to provide tools and support that empower individuals, and to be the voice that says, I see more of you, I expect more of you, and I will walk with you until you see it too. Emerson said, an acorn holds the potential for 1,000 forests, but it cannot grow alone. It takes light, water, and care. Each of us was once that acorn, but tonight I'm inviting you to be the water, the light, and to provide the care, nurturing the potential of others. At Fedcap, we've built a community where hope is not an abstract concept. It's a tangible force. It lives in the stories of the individuals and families that have found their footing throughout our programs. It's the single mother who, with our support, secured a job and created a stable home for her children. It's the veteran who regained purpose through meaningful work. It's the young person with disabilities who, despite all odds, discovered a path to independence and a career. It's the adult who learned a trade, entered one of our jobs, saved enough to buy a house, and put his kids through college. These stories teach us that hope is not passive. It requires us to lean into challenges, stand beside one another, and to believe that change is possible even in the face of adversity. But hope is not enough. Personal growth happens most powerfully in connection with others. Every person in this room has needed someone to believe in them. And when we extend a hand to another person, we don't just lift them up, we elevate ourselves. Fedcap is more than a collection of programs. We're a network of possibility. Tonight, as we celebrate, let us remember the challenge before us, to leave here inspired not just to give, but to connect, and to be that light for someone else, to champion aspirational thinking as a driver of progress, to expect great things, not just for those we serve, but for ourselves and our communities. As we look to the future, let us double down on our commitment to being there for one another. Let us lead with empathy, listen with intention, because when we help others, we grow too. When we invest in their hope, we amplify our own. And when we build connections, we create a future that's not just brighter, but richer for all of us. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey. Together, we're unstoppable. Together, we're building hope. Together, we're creating a future where everyone has a chance to grow. Thank you. Thank you. I want to now introduce a video where you'll learn about some of the remarkable work of Easter Seals, and you'll hear a bit of Augie's story. So with that.
We succeed as a family when Augie succeeds. What Easter Seals has done for our family, giving Augie a strong foundation, is giving our whole family a strong foundation.
Easter Seals New York is a patient-centered, family-focused nonprofit organization that has been serving the community for over a century. Alongside our education and other services, we provide an evidence-based parenting education program, which includes a specialized program tailored for parents of children with special needs.
I had been coordinating all of Kobe's early intervention services. So the idea of sending him to a place where all of that would be done with one team was just such a huge relief.
Preschool education actually has been demonstrated to have very significant impact on people's life success. Early studies demonstrate a wide variety of impacts, like the greater likelihood of graduating from high school, of going to college, of having a stable job in adulthood. That's pretty phenomenal.
Kobe's learning social skills. He's learning how to act. He's learning how to ask for help. All of this is preparing him for the future.
It amazes me the children that walk through my door in September and the children that leave in June.
When we were in Easter Seals, it was like every week he was a different child. He would come home from school talking about subjects or with skills that I didn't even know we were getting ready to explore. We were talking about a child who didn't really have language until he was 3. He left Easter Seals, not even 5 yet, reading above kindergarten grade level.
It's a great growing opportunity for the entire family. It's a great growing opportunity for the child. And it is a great relief to the parents to know that your child is being well taken care of in a setting that understands your child's unique abilities and challenges.
The way that Easter Seals has impacted our family dynamic, Augie is a leader in our family, and he is also teaching his younger siblings as a parent of a child who struggled to find language. And now to see him thriving in that environment and able to share that with his siblings, it only brings them closer, and it helps our family bond and be stronger together.
Please welcome to the stage Jennifer D., a parent of an Easter Seals preschool graduate.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm here tonight to share a little bit more about the story of my son, August, and our journey with Easter Seals New York. Augie is the oldest of my 3 sons, and from the moment he arrived, he brought a new kind of joy into our lives, a sweet, happy, and curious little boy. Early on, we noticed delays in reaching certain milestones, and at 15 months, we began therapies through early intervention. At 2.5, he was diagnosed with a rare genetic condition, one so new that there was very little information to guide us. We were determined to give Augie every opportunity to grow into his fullest potential, even if we didn't know what that might look like. The path wasn't easy. As any parent navigating special education systems will tell you, it's a very steep learning curve. For over a year, I coordinated 9 therapy sessions a week across multiple agencies, along with specialized educational support in his mainstream preschool classroom. Augie spent countless hours in the car, shuttling between school and therapy. He did it with a smile, even when I didn't. I did my best to share each therapist's recommendations with the rest of the team, and I constantly worried that important details were slipping through the cracks. And then we found Easter Seals. From the moment we walked through the doors, it was like a weight lifted off of my shoulders. The school was a literal and figurative place of light. Large sunlit windows, bright colors, joyful students, and exceptional educators. In his 1 year there, Augie flourished in the ways we always dreamed he could. With the guidance of incredible teachers, therapists, and staff, Augie truly came into his own. As I said in the video, he literally found his voice there. And he came in as a child who was mostly nonverbal to, by the end of the year, singing and talking absolutely nonstop. Each week, he was growing, learning, and becoming more confident. His therapists and teachers worked together as a unified team, ensuring every piece of his development was nurtured through his education. At Easter Seals, I had expected Augie to receive a wonderful education. But what brought me immense and unexpected joy is that it is also a vibrant community. It was here that Augie made his first friends, and on more than one occasion, he was lovingly called the mayor of Easter Seals. He knew everyone's name, and they knew his. This sense of care and community extended beyond the classroom, supporting not just Augie, but our entire family. When it came time to transition into kindergarten, I was extremely nervous. I'm happy to share we are now 3 months into the school year, and I can tell you I did not need to be. His team at Easter Seals ensured he was set up for success, and today Augie is thriving. My greatest wish for Augie is that he has the tools to create a happy and successful life, whatever that may be for him. To do that, he needs a strong foundation to build upon. While his diagnosis leaves us with many unknowns, I do know that Easter Seals gave Augie the absolute strongest foundation possible, an unwavering foundation that he will build upon for the rest of his life. Easter Seals was a place that let him be himself, while also pushing him to grow, to learn, and to connect with the world around him. They gave my son the education he deserved. And as a parent, there is nothing more I could have asked for. Tonight, I stand here as a grateful mother and alongside all of you as an advocate for children and families who deserve the opportunities that Augie received. Programs like Easter Seals are far too rare, and they are vital. They change lives, not just for the children who walk through their doors, but for the families and communities around them. Thank you for supporting this incredible organization and for believing in the power of possible. By supporting Easter Seals, you become part of the foundation that helps countless children grow, thrive, and find their place in the world. For that, Augie and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You told me don't bring the paper. It's gonna work fine. I wanted the paper. I wanted the paper. There is no better way to understand what we do than to learn who we are. We're starting a tradition at this gala. We're gonna introduce you at each gala to one of the many people who make up this powerful force for good. So take a look at the video and meet Aisha Lucas.
I got accepted into college, but I really never got to finish because I had a child of my own. It was hard. It was hard. Growing up wasn't easy. Grew up in a single-parent home. My mother worked very, very hard to make sure that we had everything that we needed. It was me and my sister. I would pick her up from school, drop her off, make sure that the meals were prepared, and then go to school. I always knew that I wanted to be in an office setting. I didn't know how I was gonna get there, but I envisioned myself sitting behind a desk doing something extraordinary. After college, I got a job in home care, working with Visiting Nurse Service of New York. I never, ever, ever dreamed of leaving. And then I had my twins. They were in early child intervention since they were 9 months because they weren't speaking.
She didn't feel like they were hearing us the right way. She kept pushing and pushing, like, no, something's wrong, you know, that something has to be done.
One of the women said, let me try something. She put her hand in front of her mouth and she gave them an instruction and they just kept looking at her because they'd been reading her lips the whole time. And that's when we found out that they were deaf in both ears, both of them, not just one, but both. It was a hard pill to swallow. For a while, we were like, oh my God, why us? And then this little voice saying, you know, why not you guys? Why not? So I embraced it. And I said, okay, I gotta do what I have to do. What's next? I heard about Fedcap through my actual boss that gave me my first job. She called me out of the blue and I said, no, I'm happy here. Hung up the phone. She literally called me 4 times. And I said, nope. When she called me the 4th time, something in me just said, go. The day that I came for the interview, there was a gentleman who was in a blue uniform. It said Fedcap. He opened up the door for me, and at that point, I knew that he couldn't hear, so I signed, good morning. He signed, good morning. And at that moment, my belief in what was possible for my boys suddenly shifted. I knew that they could go to college. I knew that they could have a family of their own. I knew that they could buy a home. And I was like, I don't know what this Fedcap is, but I think I want to take the job. If Fedcap didn't do what it is that they do, I don't think that I would be working here. It connected me to my family to be able to help them in ways that I didn't even have the tools or the know-how to do. The power possible to me means opportunity, resilience, sustainability, ambition, drive, finding that passion in everything that you do.
It was always, okay, so what's next? Okay, you did that, so what's next?
And she always say, do not give up. And she always say, oh, what you want to do, you do it.
She also inspired me to make people laugh and have a really good time. She taught me to enjoy life. My mother taught all of us about respect, whether inside the home or out. It's important to respect people, and I think that was a great influence on all of us.
Growing a family and growing a career, it's a blessing. It's not just Fedcap, it's the people in Fedcap. Just like someone at one time invested in me, I'm taking that same energy and investing in everybody else here, letting them know you can be anything you want to be. This is who we are.
Aisha, please stand. Meet Aisha.
Please welcome to the stage the Fedcap Group's board chair, Mark O'Donoghue.
Good evening. Can you hear me now? Good evening. One more time, good evening and welcome to all of you. Thanks very much for your support of Fedcap and for joining us at this annual gala. I want to just take a minute to recognize our CEO, Chris McMahon. Thank her for a great speech and for an upbeat message tonight, which is what we're about. Tonight is particularly meaningful for me because among the incredible individuals we're honoring is my wife, Carol Kellerman. Carol is being honored this evening for her career and her accomplishments as a public servant, civic leader, and nonprofit executive here in New York. Over 50 years, she's been in the thick of national and state politics, government policy and programs, and nonprofits here in New York City. She's shaped programs which have transformed lives, most notably the ASAP program for college students pioneered by CUNY, and the initiatives for victims of September 11th. I've had a front row seat watching Carol work over the years. That's been a great education and helped me to understand why Fedcap's work is so special and to appreciate how Fedcap's focus on the power of possible, which we're celebrating tonight, does change lives. The scope of what Fedcap is able to achieve with your financial support and the lives we touch are truly extraordinary. You've seen these numbers, but it's worth repeating them. This year alone, we've served more than 243,000 people, spanning 106 locations worldwide. We have placed more than 28,000 individuals into sustainable, well-paying jobs, and we have supported over 80,000 individuals through Single Stop, our case management and benefits screening program, which identified benefits averaging more than $20,000 per household. These numbers are extraordinary, but they only tell part of the story. Behind every one of those impressive numbers are real people. People like Jalen Martin, a graduate of the Fedcap School, whose journey is a testament to the transformative work of the Fedcap Group. Jalen's story reminds us of the impact behind the numbers we share each year. Fedcap helped change Jalen's life, and he is now helping to shape the world around him in a positive way, like a ripple that turns into a wave of change, powerful enough to bring lasting improvement to communities. Your support fuels our mission, and together we are demonstrating how much is possible when we believe in people's potential and invest in their success. So now we're going to invite you to consider doing a little more. Many of you have done a lot, but a little more, because even a small contribution can make a big difference. On the back of your program, you'll find a QR code that shares more about Fedcap's impact and provides an easy and quick way to donate. Thank you for your continued support. And now, here is Jalen's story.
My story starts like this. My mom was on drugs. Not being able to have your mom in the picture is one of the toughest things that a kid can ever endure. I got crisis called on me so many times in different schools. You know, I've kicking the windows out of buses, broke furniture, you know, hit people.
What I admire most about Jalen is his strength through survival. He looked to his grandmother as being his mother and his father.
Jalen was a fun kid, like to laugh, play, and once it got time for school, things kind of changed.
At the age of 13, 14, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know my story anymore.
Jalen took advantage of every single thing that we offered him. We started to work on his self-esteem, forget the naysayers, this is your life, take advantage of it, and he did.
I just remember the atmosphere being different at Fedcap.
We listened to him. We listened to his point of view of life. Because if you want to make someone feel confident and has value, you need to listen to what's on his mind. And Jalen spoke his mind always.
I think that was the first thing I heard was classical music. I was like, where is this coming from? And it was Jalen. And then he went with the music program. So, I mean, he just took off. He was amazing.
Fedcap, he learned music in there. He always talked about the music studio.
The second verse. So I wanted to do something different. And then like rock your body, rock your body. Love's contagious, I can't fight it. I'm drawn to the world, I can't deny it.
We have a high graduation rate because we have the resources and tools for the kids to succeed, but what we also have is we believe in them, and they know it.
After graduation, I moved to St. Louis and started my career in the food processing industry.
I didn't feel like I wanted to find a place to work just to work there. I wanted to find something where I had an opportunity to change something in the world. And that's because Fedcap taught me that. They taught me that these are not just jobs, these are opportunities.
And without every single teacher, aide, custodian, nurse, office staff, job coaches, social workers, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. The kids are the why. Their future, their success, their happiness is our why.
Going from abandonment and not being understood by anybody, to be given tools, to be able to have a bright education, being able to create music, to be able to have a career, and on top of that, being able to start a future with my wife and hoping that one day when I have a kid, that they can someday conquer the world too. It's a beautiful way to live.
Please welcome to the stage, Jalen Martin.
Standing here tonight feels a lot like coming home, a moment that brings my journey full circle. I'm really not the same person I was when I first walked through the doors of the Fedcap School in 2015. Back then, I carried a lot of anger, a lot of confusion, and not a lot of hope. When I went there, I was kicked out of school after school, and I was convinced that the world didn't have a place for someone like me. Growing up, I didn't have a chance to just be a kid. My father was never in the picture. My mother struggled with addiction. She couldn't be there for me the same way how other mothers could be there for their kids. And that was tough. My grandmother, my grandfather, and other family members stepped in. They gave me everything they could and believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. But even with their love and their support, there was a part of me that still felt empty and misunderstood. Then, my grandmother found the Fedcap School. And from the very first day I walked through those doors, I felt like I entered a different world. There's really no better way to put it. People greeted me with a smile. They looked at me like I mattered. I didn't know these people, and yet, they treated me like I was part of something, part of a family. And most importantly, that I had the power and ability within me to be a success. The teachers didn't just teach us. They listened to us. They listened to me. A kid who was told so many times that I wasn't worth it. They asked questions. They encouraged me to speak up. And they helped me understand myself in a way I never had before. Mr. A, Mrs. Matt, Mr. Pat, give them a round of applause. They're here tonight. Each of them helped me see that school was more than just an education. It was about discovering who you can become. I've always loved music, but within the walls of that school, it became something deeper. I sat in that studio for hours, creating, discovering, and learning how to express myself in things that I held in for so long. Suddenly, I had this way to turn my experiences, my emotions, into something meaningful. I found my voice. And it was in those moments that I started to see the possibilities ahead of me. Not only did the Fedcap School help me graduate, they instilled in me the confidence and the deep belief that I have a future, that I have a purpose, and encouraged me to pursue it. They helped me understand no matter how lonely life may feel, you are never truly alone. There's always someone there to guide you with love and support. After graduation, I moved to St. Louis, and I started my career and really began the next chapter of my life with my beautiful wife, Morgan. I work for a company called ADM. We produce animal feed for the entire country. Through this job, I honestly feel like I'm helping the world by feeding it. My teachers helped me understand that work is more than just a way to get by. It's an opportunity. It's more than just a paycheck. It's a chance to build something for yourself. It's to be part of something, to make an impact. I found a job that both fulfills and helps me support my dreams and my passion in music. Tonight, as I look around this room, I see the faces of people that made that all possible. Give yourself a round of applause. I want to thank every single last one of you for helping kids who feel lost, who feel abandoned, who just need a chance to see that there's so much more. Because of you, a kid like me could come to a place like this and say, I made it. Thank you.
This year, we're pleased to celebrate Carol Kellerman, our Community Impact Award honoree.
If you're motivated to help the city and the state, then you want to be in there when times are tough to try to make a difference.
Carol has made a real impact in addressing some of society's most intractable problems: homelessness, improving college access for thousands of historically marginalized communities, fighting hard to ensure taxpayer dollars were spent wisely and maximized for people who needed help most, and protecting the heroes of 9/11.
She's one of the hardest working people I know. She's one of the smartest people I know. She combines an intellectual brilliance and a practicality, and she's driven always to do the right things.
Carol has been at the center of so much forward movement in the city of New York. She has real credibility, and so when you're talking with her, she's able to weave in connections from such a broad group of people.
I grew up with public service and government from my father's career, starting as a local journalist on Long Island, all the way through to being chief of staff to a U.S. senator. So it was really just kind of in my bones from my childhood.
Under Carol's leadership, Homes for the Homeless provided shelter and services to thousands of families annually.
About 40 years ago, I decided to start a small foundation, and I was looking for somebody to run it for me. And behold, I was introduced to Carol Kellerman. Homes for Homeless was our first major effort to create something new, and it's been enormously successful, and today bigger than ever. She was ceaseless in her search for knowledge. She was solving issues that she came across before they ever caused problems.
As executive director, Carol revitalized Learning Leaders and more than doubled its budget and volunteer corps.
Learning Leaders had been an anchor for school improvement and parent involvement, and then it went through a period of really hard times. And Carol took over as the CEO and rejuvenated the place, reinvented it, made it more relevant.
In her role as president of the Citizens Budget Commission, Carol held city officials accountable for an annual budget of nearly $100 billion, enhancing transparency in the use of taxpayer funds.
I first met Carol when I was deputy mayor in the Bloomberg administration, and we were doing budget presentations, and given her role as the president of the Citizens Budget Commission, she was somebody that was highly sought after. She really held government officials accountable for the decisions they were making in regards to taxpayer dollars.
With Carol at the helm, the September 11th Fund expended more than $500 million in grants that aided more than 100,000 victims of the 9/11 attacks.
She has an ability to stay focused, to see it from conception to reality, and she did that in countless number of ways through the September 11th Fund. When Carol came in, we suddenly could figure out that there were tens of thousands of people who no longer had health insurance connected to their jobs. So many people were made unemployed. And Carol went to work quickly, and she set up an insurance program for these people that served 15,000 families.
Under Carol's direction, CUNY's ASAP program achieved transformative success, more than doubling graduation rates and establishing a new benchmark for student achievement.
The purpose of the program is what would happen if we kind of pulled a variety of resources and services together into one integrated model that would help students from beginning to completion.
Working with the CUNY presidents, the different schools, she can put together a program which has been proved to be successful beyond anybody's wildest dreams.
My observation is that an awful lot of how she leads is about helping other people come into their own leadership. In every role Carol has had, she's really built the next level of leaders and supported those people through their leadership.
Carol's helped me with my career in the sense that she really pushed me to join the Harvard Legal Aid Bureau. Hearing about her experience of joining a 2-year clinic where you get to go in the greater Boston area and help people when they need it the most, and just being able to follow those footsteps and paid for it has definitely been the greatest impact.
Carol was always unflappable, and not only was she unflappable, she always kept things in perspective and could laugh at some of the funny things that would happen, or some of even the frustrating things that could happen. The criticism is meant to be constructive, but that could raise the ire of those in office, whether they're a governor or a mayor, and Carol never backed down.
I am proud of many things that I have been involved with. I feel the best about my participation in government, in particular, the time I spent as an advisor to my friend of more than 50 years, Chuck Schumer.
She combines a really sharp-edged ability to get things done with a deep, caring compassion, not only for people in the abstract, but for individuals as well.
I know that when she gets involved, she executes magnificently. America needs a lot more people like Carol Kellerman.
To present the award, please welcome to the stage Femi Akindumila.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Femi Akindumila, and I must say, it's an incredible honor to stand here tonight and present this award to Carol Kellerman, a leader, a mentor, and an inspiration to so many, including myself. I first met Carol through a mentorship program at Harvard Law School and quickly learned that more than just any mentorship, it was a relationship that would profoundly shape my path forward. From day one, Carol went above and beyond, not only offering guidance in navigating the challenges of law school, but also challenging me to think beyond the traditional routes. Law school has a clear path and many of us feel compelled to follow, but Carol's example of choosing public interest over corporate work gave me the courage to listen to my own voice. Thanks to her, I decided to join the Harvard Legal Aid Bureau, where I've had the privilege to offer pro bono legal aid services to those in need, just as Carol did. And just like Carol, I was also elected as president of the Bureau, inspired by her hard work. As you've heard tonight, Carol's achievements are truly extraordinary, from helping thousands of victims and families through the September 11th Fund, to ensuring financial accountability for billions of dollars in public resources at the Citizens Budget Commission,
to providing shelter and services to thousands of families with homes for the homeless. Carol's work has been a lifeline for so many. As tough as she is, Carol also has a sense of humor, something I've come to greatly appreciate. As I remember studying for hours for torts or contracts, I could always look forward to her emails about the pictures, about her many adventures across the world. When I think about Carol's legacy, a proverb comes to mind. A society grows great when old men plant trees they'll never enjoy the shades of. Carol has been planting seeds throughout her career, helping others grow. She's been a constant support, never expecting anything in return. She does it out of the goodness of her heart, and that generosity has been a common thread throughout her life and her work. Carol, thank you for everything you've done, for the seeds you've planted in my life and the lives of so many others, and for showing us what it means to lead both with brains, heart, and most importantly, with courage. It's an honor to present you with the Fedcap Group's Community Impact Award. Please join me in congratulating Carol.
Isn't he great? Thank you so much, Femi, for being here and for that wonderful, moving introduction. And thank you to my friends and colleagues for contributing to Fedcap and for being here or watching it online. And many thanks to those I've worked with over the years who agreed to be recorded for the video. Those who know me know that I don't like to be the center of attention. I'm a behind-the-scenes person, and so I was very uncomfortable about being honored, and I continue to be uncomfortable, much less having to watch a video about myself. But I couldn't say no to Chris McMahon and my husband. When they set their minds to something, it's very hard to stand in their way. And more importantly, there is no organization with more resonance for me than Fedcap. How could I refuse? First of all, my connection to Fedcap is rooted in family. My mom's cousin, Marty Silberberg, so also my cousin, worked with Fedcap for many years, first as a volunteer and later as a board member and its chair. It was Marty who introduced both Mark and I to Fedcap and who encouraged Mark to join the board many years ago. And his daughter Eve is here with us tonight. And also, my dad worked closely with Senator Javits, who was revered in my family, and my father served as his chief of staff in the mid-1970s. And Senator Javits was the sponsor of the legislation which expanded the program that has made it possible for nonprofits like Fedcap to employ people with disabilities to provide services to the federal government, such as what they do in New York by providing the cleaning services at the federal courthouse and at Ellis Island. Also, Fedcap's programs and work are animated by a value and vision that I very much share, that people can overcome obstacles and marginalization if they have the tools and the encouragement to achieve. Projects I've worked on over the years, like ASAP at CUNY and Learning Leaders, have exemplified this belief. As you know, or have learned by watching the videos and hearing from Fedcap leaders and clients tonight, Fedcap is dedicated to making it possible for people who face very real obstacles to change their lives for the better. This work is not easy, and it requires getting into the weeds with individuals and coming up with solutions that are actually effective. But instilling the sense of the possible makes all the difference and runs through what Fedcap does, whether it's training and managing a workforce of more than 1,000 workers with disabilities to deliver top-flight service to government agencies, or helping troubled teens to finish high school and find roles in the workplace, or counseling mothers who have young children with special needs. So my discomfort notwithstanding, I'm very proud and honored to receive this award, and I promise to continue to do all I can to help and support Fedcap's important work and path forward for so many people. Thank you all for being here.
As we close, I want to take a moment to thank you for being part of our celebration. As we look forward to 2025, I'm excited for what we can achieve together. Tonight wasn't just a celebration of our progress. It was a reminder of the work still to be done and our collective commitment to creating a brighter future for all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the Fedcap Group family. Thank you for helping us make a lasting impact. Safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you again and your continued engagement. Good night, everyone.